Welcome to Greenland Gamers, this is Chikarasuk. I am in Crucible again today, and we are going to do a character intro for Summer. We did kind of go over her stuff in the tutorial, but it wasn't really in-depth, so just like with Mendoza and Earl, I am also doing an additional character intro video for Summer. So let's go into practice, and we'll see what we can find out.
Things are heating up!
Your flamethrower range has now increased.
Alright, let's see here. We've got flamethrowers. So that's nice. Let's go ahead and take a look at her abilities here. Passive is heat. Abilities generate heat. If overheated, abilities shut down for 5 seconds. So basically what that means is there is no reload or ammo or anything like that. It's just you have a bar. Every ability you use uses up some of that bar, and it just gradually goes away. If that bar goes over the limit, then you end up being overheated and you can't do anything except basically run around and jump and I guess punch. Besides that, you can't do anything else. None of your abilities work or anything like that for 5 seconds. Your escape move is the fire pulse thrusters. You jump up and forward. Your Q move is a magma spiral, creates a circular pattern of flaming magma. E is ignition spark, creates a blast that knocks you and opponents back. And your right click is fireball, fires a long range fireball that explodes on impact. So your essence upgrades are level 1 flame projectors, the flamethrower range increased by 50%. Level 2 is a acetylene torch. Flamethrowers inflict plus 40% damage when heat gauge is over 50%. Level 3 is incendiary shot. Fireballs leave behind a burning area for 4 seconds. Level 4 is a cooldown protocol. You got time to recover from overheat is decreased from 5 to 4 seconds. And level 5 goes to 11, maximum heat increase from 225 to 275. So this looks pretty nice. In the past one I've done a little bit of playing with her in tutorial and stuff like that. She ended up being my favorite character out of the 3 in the tutorial. Even after doing a few character intros, I think she's probably still going to be my favorite. But let's test her out here and see if that's the case. Alright, so escape. That's kind of cool. Let's see.
Cool my jets!
Alright, if I do it 3 times, I overheat. Once I get to level
time
5 on my essence upgrades, that might change, just because it doesn't increase the amount I can have. These things are kind of short range, of course, but they're not extremely short range. They barely use a bitty gauge, and look at I'm holding this down this entire time, and it's barely moving that gauge underneath the reticle at all. They do a decent amount of damage, too. There's a fireball. Okay, looks like that does a DOT, damage over time. So it isn't just an instant loss of life. So you shoot it, boom, it has that flashing part, which means it's going to lose that much over time, but right away it doesn't do that.
Your flamethrowers now do more damage in the top half of your heat gauge.
Ah, okay. Well, let's get to the top half of the heat gauge here and find out what that does.
Taking off!
Okay, here we go.
Bring in the heat!
Oh yeah. That's noticeable change in damage. They are doing a lot of damage there. They look cooler too.
Cool my jets!
Yeah, and I was actually able to overheat at that point.
Back in business!
Let's try the Q move here. Come out.
Power!
I like that it leaves flames on the ground, so it keeps killing them. That does quite a bit of damage, actually, with the flames left on the ground. Let's see what this E move does. If they'll come out of their pods here.
Push him back!
Okay, does a little bit of damage. Doesn't seem to really push these guys back.
Can't touch me!
But again, these guys seem to be resistant to knockback for any characters, so that's probably what it is. It's just, you know, these guys don't get knocked back, but if I would use this in PvP, actual players probably would get knocked back.
Push him back!
Okay, seem to get knocked back a little bit, but these guys are also designed to kind of stay in place. That's the thing about practice there. You don't have the exact look at what you'd be facing in PvP. One thing we can try is go over here to the crazy things. I hate these guys, but they might be affected by knockback.
Can't touch me! Nuh-uh-uh!
They seem to be maybe a little bit. Get out of there. I'm almost dead. Good thing they gave up. See, I don't know, that E move, it doesn't seem to work that much on environmental enemies, but probably PvP it'll work just fine. It could be handy if you're close up to someone to knock them back, especially if it's a melee guy or melee person with like a sword or a punching or an axe or something like that.
Your fireballs now briefly burn the area where they land.
Ooh, okay, let's try this one. This incendiary shot. I'm assuming leave the area burning slightly where they land is kind of like the Q move, so that could really help out. Boom. Oh yeah. That definitely kills them faster. Oh yeah, that's fun. It also helps to speed up that DOT, because you've got fire under them too. It's actually taking the life out of them instead of just having the damage over time ability. I was thinking he would die faster than he did, but oh well, it works. Let me go find a health pod. Where is this health pod? Is over here. There it is.
Up and away!
Let's see how well she handles these spitters. thing about the escape move is you can't just hold it down and have her just hover. She only does a burst. If you do hold it down, though, it does do the burst, and then it does another burst a little bit later, like I just did right there. But like I found out earlier, you can only do about 2 bursts before you run out.
Take it off!
And that's going from a standstill, zero, zero heat gauge or anything like that. You already got a bunch of heat used up.
You now recover
Fireballs or other stuff. Faster. Then it'll
Keep it cool.
be less than that even.
Okay, time in.
Okay, yeah, that's noticeably faster. That's not bad at all. Fireballs have a decent range, not amazing, but decent. Flamethrowers, they're not terrible. They're definitely short range, but then I was expecting them to be short range, so it doesn't really surprise me there. Q-move can also be used to get into certain places. Oh, and she does not get hurt by her own fire. It's nice that a single fireball doesn't have to take these guys out. Then again, that's not a beginning fireball, probably, just I'm already on the level where it adds the extra fire. Fire burning on the ground, level 3 I think that was. And so that makes a big difference. Let's see, can I make it up to there? Oops, that was too close. She does go forward with her escape move, so you can't just stand under something and hope that it works.
Keep it cool.
And she can make it with her third one, but then
Ready for action.
that's it.
Turning on the gas.
It does look like if she is overheated, she will punch with her normal move. So you don't actually have to hit
now
V.
increased.
Okay, here we go. Increase, let's see.
Pull my jacket.
Oh yeah, you get an extra jump after level 5.
Back in business.
That's nice. And you can use the flamethrower jump thing pretty much anytime you want. So you can do this, and do something like that.
Crank it up. Up and away. Pull my jacket. Ready for action.
Yeah, once you get to level 4 and 5, it's not too bad because you get extra heat gauge ability, and then you also recover faster, so yeah, not too bad at all. things aren't very smart. As long as you got a wall to hide behind, those things will blow up on the wall. Huh. Yeah, using fireballs is actually pretty easy to kill that hive. That's pretty cool. Yeah, she's definitely still my favorite. She's able to get out of situations quickly. She's able to attack and do a lot of damage. Her life isn't as high as a tank, but it's okay. She doesn't have any shielding abilities, which isn't great, but she does have that knockback move, the E move, which probably will work much more effectively in PvP than here in practice. That can get her out of something. But I really like that she doesn't have to reload or anything like that, as long as you're careful with your heat gauge, and especially after you get up to level 4 and 5 of your essence upgrades. You're not going to have to worry too much about any downtime for reloading or anything like that. It's basically just do what you want to do. Just be a little bit careful that you don't use too many flamethrower jumps or the Q move too quick in succession. I guess even the fireball uses a bit more of the heat gauge, so don't use too many of those in quick succession. But generally speaking, the heat gauge recovers pretty quickly, so it's not a huge deal. But yeah, she's still my favorite, even after trying out so many others. Go ahead and leave a comment and see, let me know if Summer's your favorite. Let me know if there's something you don't like about her. Let me know if I missed anything. But anyways, go ahead and subscribe to Greenland Gamers, and thanks for watching.